or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium. And opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Welcome to BIB Radio on Black Talk Radio Network. Today is the 20th of October, 2016, 7:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tonight, Brother Robert 11X and I will be joined by Brother Shareef. Brother Shareef will talk to us about taxes. I recently learned that the deadline for filing extension has just passed, and it's been very hard for me to get a hold of anybody to speak with our listening audience concerning taxes because it seemed that everybody was in a big scramble all the time because of the deadline or just the regular filing time. So now I finally got a hold of somebody that we could talk to, and his name is Brother Shareef. Brother Robert, are you on the phone with us?
I am.
Okay, perfect. So what questions might you have about taxes for Brother Shareef?
Why should we pay them?
Why should we pay them? Well, that's a good question. But, I mean, that's just one of those things that, unfortunately, like, we're being forced to do. Because if you ask me, when they tax us, the taxes really don't go for what they say that they're going for. I mean, it just goes toward all kinds of things. I was listening to the new abolitionist radio show this morning with Scotty and Max and Brother Johan and Elia, and they were talking about prisons and, you know, basically how we are shareholders in the prison industry because of our taxes and things like that. But I mean, we don't really know where these taxes go. I don't know if Brother Shareef can really share that information with us, but for those people who are already in paying taxes and people who have questions about taxes, hopefully he can kind of shed some light on the proper allocation of certain things. I know for me, when I was making a really, really substantial amount of money, I was always concerned with that, but it was always offset because I had 4 children. And, I mean, I was able to really use my expenses as huge write-offs. I mean, we all like to know what those write-offs are, whether it be mileage or using part of your living space as your business or things you buy, just depending on what you do as a business. So I'm really interested in hearing what he has to say. A problem that I used to have sometimes is like, you know, you see those commercials for H&R Block and all those other tax places where they want you to come in and they'll give you a check and they'll do all this rapid refund and rapid filing or whatever, but it kind of works like a payday loan. I mean, they kind of like really sucker you into that stuff with huge interest, and you end up paying them a whole lot of money out of your your tax refund instead of waiting. But I remember doing that one year because I needed some money. So I went to Hewlett. Is it Hewlett? Jackson, not Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard is the printing company. Hewlett Jackson. I went to Hewlett Jackson one year and had them do my taxes. And because I knew what I knew, you know, usually I would get like $3,000 back because I had dependents. But these people had me paying out like $3,000 or something like that. So I knew that they didn't know what they were doing concerning business taxes. And you really have to be careful when you're an entrepreneur or you're self-employed who you go to for your taxes, because those people that are not well trained, especially in the area that you deal with concerning your business and the taxes, they can really mess your stuff up. And that's the last thing you want to have to deal with is something crazy from the IRS. I mean, oof, nobody wants the IRS knocking on their door or sending them ugly letters. I've had that happen before, and you definitely do not want it happening. You know, my thing got easily rectified, but, I mean, it's just not something that you want, because they can attach themselves to all of your assets and, anything you have coming back from anything, they can attach themselves. So, again, hopefully when we talk to Brother Shareef, he'll be able to shed some light on all the tax information, the tax information that we need help with. So, let's see here. I'm not sure. Yeah, he should be on here. I think he is on. He'll be on in a second. But, Robert, as far as why we have to pay taxes, I mean, you know, the typical answers is like road work and that kind of thing. But we know that the roads are still bad, so I really don't know. I don't know what the taxes are going for.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a crooked system, so I'm sure a lot of politicians are making millions of dollars. And, I mean, they say when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do and render unto Caesar what is his, you know. I have my own strong opinions about all this stuff. But nevertheless, I would say this. If you're in the game, you know, there are rules to the game. And, you know, it's best that you study the rules and know how to play, you know, and understand the consequences of the decision to get involved in the game or not to be involved. You know, one of the biggest gangsters known in the mafia stories is Mr. Al Capone. And he beat a lot of charges. He beat a lot of cases. And the one case that, you know, that got him was tax evasions. So, you know, you better understand whatever you do, you know, study whatever it is when you're dealing with money, know the game and know how to play the game, and study that 16th Amendment, you know.
Right.
That's
the
what
16th Amendment dealing with what?
What is pay the taxes
and
know the 16th Amendment.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Like memorize.
I like one of them damn Verizon commercials.
Right. No, what I was saying was, what is the 16th Amendment involving? I don't know what that is.
Let me pull it up in my notes. Give me 1 second, and I will tell you.
Okay.
Are you gonna? You muted me. Hello. Hello.
I'm here. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I was muting myself because I had some extra noise going on while you looked up that 16th Amendment.
I'm gonna go to my notepad here. I wrote that down. I want to say it like it's supposed to be said, not my interpretation of it. So.
Well, is the 16th Amendment dealing with taxes or what?
Yeah. Well, it's something that you should know in reference to the money, the taxes, right? Being taxed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely that. So let me go to my notes here. What does it say? you can know how to play if you're going to play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It always works out like this when you're trying to get what you're trying to get. But I'm going to get it. Give me just 1 second here.
No, you're fine. I mean, I really don't know the Constitution like that. I mean, that sounds bad, but I'm just being honest. I know about the 14th Amendment.
Let me help y'all out. Greetings, this Scotty, y'all engineer. Greetings,
Hi,
Brother
Scotty.
Robert.
Hey, what's up, Scotty?
Hey, Sister Sisi. Brother Robert, let me help you out. 16th Amendment, this comes up in Google, passed by Congress July 2nd, 1909, ratified February the 3rd, 1913. The 16th Amendment changed a portion of Article 1, Section 9. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration. So what does apportionment mean? So we have to look up these words, man. It's very important to pay attention to the words they use, like in the 13th Amendment, they say accept. Well, what does accept mean? Well, it means that we're not really abolishing slavery and we're going to still practice it under these new conditions. So apportionment says the action or result of apportioning something, the determination of the proportional number of members each U.S. state sends to the House of Representatives based on population figures. So definitely very confusing amendment. Yeah. Very confusing amendment. So we would need to get a constitutional scholar on to, or someone who, like a Brother Shareef, possibly. I don't know how much he knows about it, but very confusing amendment. And again, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, Brother Shabazz, I'm sure Brother Shareef, I'm assuming that he does know in depth that terminology, and I know Brother Rashid, who may be on. I just sent him a text about being on the show, at least calling in. But he was the brother that actually brought that amendment to my attention a little while back, and like he was expressing to me, this is something that anybody that's dealing with the finances should be aware of the depth of this amendment right here. So definitely we can see what Brother Shareef, how he can enlighten us to this information here. Because if they put it in the Constitution, it's definitely a part of their system of operation.
Right, most definitely.
It's something that I finally pulled it up in my phone. But that's what Scotty said. It was pretty much what I had inside my notes here.
Right. Well, I pulled it up at the same time he did, at least the definition of apportionment. And, yes, it is very strange wording and terminology that we would have to, you have to break down the definition of the definition to get the answer. And then I still don't even know if you have the answer, because we know that the laws of the land apply differently to us. So it can be very, very detailed. But, concerning the taxes, and Brother Shareef, we do have him on the line now. I'm going to let him on in just a second. But taxes can be quite complex. I mean, like I said, I had an issue where I was in a business, and I was making a substantial amount of money every year. I guess I was considered, quote, middle class, but I'm black, so I don't know if that was really middle class, but I was, making good money, and I was filing my taxes every year. I had my 4 dependents. Everything was fine. But then I didn't have my business anymore, and I just stopped filing taxes. I didn't even pay attention to anything anymore. I just left it alone. Maybe I was going through something, but I just wasn't thinking of taxes. Even though I know you would get a check back every year, whatever, I left it all alone. But then pretty soon the IRS was like sending me letters saying I owed them over $60,000. And I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't understand how I owed them $60,000. I was just like month after month going down to the IRS trying to get some answers, and like nobody could help me. Finally, they gave me some kind of mediation line where I was able to talk to some lady. I talked to the lady, and she was working with me, and I was actually working toward paying this $60,000 back, which, I mean, God knows when I would have been able to pay that back. But then a guy down at the IRS, he was in line with me, and he saw me leave, and he followed me, and he said, you know what, I heard your situation, and I know of these people that would probably be able to help you. And I was like, oh, Lord, okay, well, whatever, let me go check it out. Sure enough, I went and I took my information to these people in Puyallup, Washington, and I will give them a plug right now. The company's name is Bell, B-E-L-L, and Futch, F-U-T-C-H, Bell and Futch in Puyallup, Washington. I'm not sure if they do out-of-state taxes or what they do, but that man, after one meeting, I just gave him all of my information, all of my documents. They had me owing them $60,000. When he got done with all the configurations, they actually owed me $6,000. So I ended up owing nothing, and they owed me, which was a huge relief because, you know, you hear nightmares about the IRS. You see celebrities going through stuff with the IRS. You know, when they really want to get you, that's what they do. They stick the IRS on you, and you have issues or whatever. But I was just so relieved because taxes, that's just an area where we just don't even find interest. We don't even look to figure it out ourselves or get the information. And Brother Shareef is going to actually come on and talk to us about that, because when I was speaking to him, that's what he said. He said, you need to get the knowledge for yourself, and that's for everybody. So I am going to, without further ado, bring on Brother Shareef, and we can talk to him about taxes. Welcome, Brother Shareef. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Malik Salam.
Brother Robert, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, brother. How about you?
Hey, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Yes, sir.
That's why we got you on here. What?
That's exactly why we got you on here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sam.
Go ahead.
And
being accidentally muted. Go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Brother Shareef?
Yes, I can.
Can
you hear me?
That's why we got you on here. We got somebody playing with the switchboard, I see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, brother, we want to get your expertise in this on the tax game. We know that you have an extensive history. So why don't you, Brother Shareef, inform the people of your history in the tax industry?
Well, basically, everything that you all have been talking about, I experienced as a younger man when I went through some of the same issues that Sister Sisi was talking about. I was the type of brother, I got a divorce, and I had 3 kids, and I tried to file, I tried to claim them, and I was told that I couldn't claim them, even though I was paying child support. And I didn't understand that. I in fact went and claimed my 3 kids, and like the sister said, next thing I know, I got a letter in the mail, and indicated that I owed them $10,000 because I claimed my kids. So at that point, make a long story short, I paid the $10,000 back, and I made a commitment then. I said, any institution that's got this much power over my money, I need to have some knowledge about this organization. So I went to H&R Block back in 1995, 96, and I learned how to do taxes. And I was doing well at doing taxes, so, they employed me. And I worked for them for 10 years. And then I worked for several other accounting firms. And then at that point, I went out on my own. So for the most part, I've been out independently on my own for about I guess about 10 years. So all in all, I have about 20 years experience in the tax business. But everything that you all have said is true in terms as far as I is concerned, and I'm glad that you did bring up that point of view about Al Capone. And I always have, I try to tell people that, the IRS is nothing to play with. I always say that the IRS is the reincarnation of Al Capone. Now, if you know the history of Al Capone, you know how he works. He don't come ask you for anything. He make you offer you can't refuse. He come, he take. And just like the sister was indicating that, she had stopped filing taxes, and then next thing she get a $60,000 tax bill. And that's basically the way they operate. Now, it's your job to prove to them that you don't owe that money. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest problems with us, as a people and people in general, is that, they don't file taxes in a lot of cases until they're made to file taxes. And that's the worst position that you can be in. I always tell all my clients, you understand, the difference between my firm and the difference between my firm and other tax firms is that I made a commitment that my clients were going to be audit ready. You go to Jackson Hewitt, you go to H&R Block, makes no difference for the most part. They don't put the emphasis on being audit ready. And the reason why I put the emphasis on being audit ready is because I've had experience with them.
Right.
I got tied up in one of the biggest fraud cases probably in the history of St. Louis when I was working for H&R Block. When I worked for H&R Block, I used to manage the tax office for them. I used to train people. I used to train CPAs. I used to train attorneys how to do tax. And I had 20 people up under me. And one of my tax preparers were falsifying returns.
Oh my gosh!
Which the individual that were falsifying the returns had been with the company for 15 years before I got there. And so, how the game go. When IRS comes, they got to be a fall. They got to be fall guys.
Right.
So they wanted to make me the fall guy. So they came at me, and they charged me with 100 cases of aiding and abetting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 100 cases.
Damn.
Oh.
So I fought them. And it's hard to get people to work with you. You got attorneys that are afraid of the IRS. You got CPAs and all people that have this knowledge are afraid of the IRS, because when you go up against the IRS, you got to be right. Number one, you got to make sure your tax situation is correct.
Right.
Because if you go down there with somebody whose tax situation is not proper, the IRS you're gonna be the first one to investigate.
Right.
Your representative. So therefore, and so a lot of times the representative taxes are not in order. He's not going to serve your best interest.
Right.
Because now they say, they call him in the room and say, well, you got look like we see that you haven't filed your taxes in 3 years, and did you know that was income tax evasion? Now, how much fighting is he going to do for you once they bring that to his attention?
None.
Thank you.
He's worried about his own butt.
Thank you. So, I have a track record, and I've dealt with these people. I've been through something just like you, sister, what you said. They put a lien against my house for $110,000. they basically, was part of their main goal was to send me into financial ruin. That's what the IS does.
Right.
They operate, and their main weapon is to instill fear.
Mm-hmm.
They play the ends against the middle. I've seen cases where husbands have tripped, turned in their spouses.
Mm.
I've seen mothers going against daughters and sons.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and what I mean by that is that, you're familiar with the earned income tax credit, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people try to play with that, and, my baby was staying, my mother took care of my child, and...
Uh-huh. People play with that all the time, and I'm just like, how do you get away with that? Because that's crazy.
Well, they're not getting away.
Okay.
See, the IRS is about money.
Mm.
So a lot of times they can let you go for 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you understand they can audit you when they already know the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed you to get away. Now it's payday.
Right.
Now they can come back, and the money that let's say if you got a $10,000 refund, and they find out that you didn't get it because of you didn't follow the tax laws.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can come back. You taking that $10,000, now they can make money off of that $10,000.
Right.
Because now they can charge you interest and penalties all the way back from 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
So that's how people get themselves jammed up.
Mm-hmm.
I have people come to me all the time, and they want to file taxes with their grandbaby or whatever. And I ask them, I said, well, do your grandbaby stay with you? Or if it's the father, I said, does the child stay with you? Well, no, but he's my child. So I said, yeah, but he's not staying with you. So you're gonna need the mother's permission, and she should have that in writing in order for you to file.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, if you don't, you're in violation of the law.
Right.
And some people listen to me, and some don't. But my job basically is to tell, I have people come to me all the time, and you got situations where you got a husband and a wife. The husband has been filing single, and the wife has been filing single. But they both stay in the same household, and that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I say because that's against tax law. You can't be married and file single in that particular situation.
Okay, Brother Shareef, we've got to take our half-hour break, so we'll come right back. You listen to BIB Radio on Black Talk Radio Network.
Okay.
Okay.
Black Talk Radio since 2008, providing new black media for the masses.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to BIB Radio on Black Talk Radio Network. We're talking to Brother Shareef about taxes and the IRS. If you would like to ask a question, our phone number is area code 715-3660. Participant code is 549032 pound. If you'd like to be heard, press *6 and the number 1, and we will get you in. Okay, Brother Shareef, continue on telling us what you were talking about.
Well, like I said, basically, the best advice that I can give to your audience is to get someone who knows the tax system, and not only know the tax system, but understand the importance of record keeping.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all it's about.
Right.
In terms of, I have a system set up, and anytime I take on a new client, it's mandatory with me that he provide documentation.
Mm-hmm.
If he tells me that he drove 20,000 miles, then he should have documentation to show that.
Right.
If he tells me that he put $5,000 in church, then I need documentation to show that.
Right.
So that is the most important thing about, if you leave with nothing else about doing taxes, is documentation.
Right.
Because that's the biggest problem that people have, is that when you go before the IRS and you say that let me give you a prime example. The lady that I said worked in my office, when they came after her, they audited her, and she brought her records in, and she had indicated that she drove 80,000 miles in 1 year. But her records, she drove 80,000 miles in 1 year.
I'm trying to think. Let me see. 80,000 miles. Okay.
That's a lot of driving.
Hold on. 80,000 miles in 1. Okay. Yeah, that is a whole. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, that in itself raises a red flag. Mm-hmm. Now, you all are not even in taxes, but when I told you that number, you said, now, what do you think our IRS agent did? So, but anyway, the bottom line is that when they got her books indicated that she drove 40,000 miles in 3 years.
Oh my gosh!
So from right there, you understand, they had her on tax fraud on her own records.
That's crazy. She wasn't even smart enough to finagle something together. I mean,
well, I'm just telling you, and they said it was a seasoned tax preparer. I mean, one of the top tax preparers at H&R Block.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We're not talking about somebody that's, that's a common layman. We're talking about somebody that was ranked as one of the top preparers, and you had to be tested every year to reach that level. And she was good at taxes.
Well, she messed up.
Yeah. By the same token, they came at me, and my files were so meticulous that they got mad with me.
Oh.
And refused to accept any of my documentation.
What?
Yeah. So you go to another level when they come at you at fraud. When they come after you for fraud, they take off the gloves. Meaning that they're going to violate all your rights. They're going to lie on you. You know what I mean? They're going to build a case that's left up to you to prove.
Wow. Well,
but
that sounds like the government. That sounds like the government, most definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. But fortunately enough, that since I had all my records in order and I knew that they were violating my rights. See, one thing to have rights, but there's another thing to have the courage to exercise your right. Mm-hmm. Because they can put so much fear in you to where you scared to even exercise your right.
Right. That's true.
You know? Well, I won't get this over with. Just let me sign. No. You don't sign nothing with the IRS. Nothing.
Right.
And one of the first things that you do when you receive a letter from the IRS If the first time they come up and say that this is a criminal investigation, whether or not it's a criminal investigation or not, don't talk with the IS. Let your representative do that. Let your qualified representative do that.
Right.
Somebody who knows what to say and what not to say.
Yes, but we get all in the frazzle basket and we just start rambling off any old thing.
Thank you. You're correct. So that's one thing that I'm thankful for is that, number one, I wasn't afraid of it.
Right.
Number two, when it came to me, and the first time they come out their mouth and said, well, this was the federal, which I already knew there was a criminal investigation, I talked to the IS agent, and he called me and said, we want to see you, when can you come in? I said, I'm not coming in. He said, what do you mean?
Right.
I said, well, according to my constitutional right, I have a right to plead the fifth.
Right.
And since this is a criminal investigation, I plead the fifth.
Right.
So, but what that did, that showed me the power, and everybody, a lot of people that I knew, said, oh, man, that makes it seem like you guilty. No, I don't. You're exercising your constitutional right. I plead the fifth.
Right.
And what that did, it forced them to play their hand. I said, okay, anything that you want to know, any documents you want, you put it in writing, you send it to me, and I'll respond to it. Well, that gives me time to sit down and see what angle they trying to come from.
Right. Right.
But like you said, if you start telling them everything, what they're trying to do is to get you to build a case against yourself.
And you will do it if you keep talking.
Exactly. You're 1,000% correct, and you will do it if you keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully that, that I've, been instrumental in, conveying that.
Oh, absolutely. But see, the thing is, this is one of those scary things behind the dark door, taxes. People don't want to talk about it. Taxes, going to the doctor. There's a few things that we don't like to talk about, But here
exactly.
On this program, we're getting it all out in the open. We're not brushing anything under the rug. We are really in business to help people with their businesses. So that's why we brought you on, because there are people who are not paying taxes. There are people that don't feel like they should pay taxes. There are people that are unfamiliar with taxes. I mean, you have many different situations and scenarios. And what I want is for people to be able to connect with you on a larger scale to make sure that they've got all of their ducks in a row and, they're coming correct with this stuff. So, like I said, with me, I had my own situation, and I was so depressed. I mean, I was like, oh, my goodness, I owe these people $60,000. I couldn't even fathom what that looked like, $60,000. I just was like, wow. So I imagine that there are many people out there like that. You know why I know? I know that because they have these crazy commercials talking about, have IRS debt? Call us now. We'll help you get out,
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly.
They're saying they'll help you get out of your IRS debt. So that means if they made a commercial about it, there's a lot of people in IRS debt because they've been scared, because they don't know their constitutional rights. They don't know their right. They don't know they have rights. They just think, okay, if the IRS is after me, then I just have to bend over, and that's it.
Yeah, you're right, sister. Mm-hmm. I can tell you had experience with the IRS happening. You're 1,000% correct, and that was one of the reasons why they got really angry with me. They not only, by me being a tax professional, they not only came after me, they came after my wife.
Oh.
They came after my daughter.
Mm.
And they
for real. Wow.
Oh yeah. No, they don't. They when it comes to that money, and I heard you all talking earlier about where the money goes, and I think that's the frame of mind that really, in order for you to start dealing with this system, that you have to get into. Mm-hmm. Not defeating the IS, but if they got to get that money,
right?
Because your mother is looking for that Social Security check.
Yep.
Your children are looking for their Social Security check. The babies are looking for it. Mm-hmm. So I gotta understand where they have to not no compromise. Give us the money or show us, you know what I mean, why you don't have to give us the money. So, because a lot of times they just come in and they just take the money, and then it's left up to you to try to say, well, hey, you know, I don't owe this. But it gets back down to, like I was talking about earlier, documentation.
Right.
Because that's one of the things that, you know, I try to, if you don't learn anything else, learn how to keep books. Books are not that complicated to keep.
Right.
One of the things
many of us are poor at that. I am very poor at record keeping, even in this modern day of technology, especially with mileage. You know, there are several systems in place even on our phones, but a lot of us are just downright lazy. There's no excuse for it. I know I'm very lazy at record keeping, but like I said, with the mileage, they have an app called Mile IQ. They sure keep advertising it every time I'm trying to watch a YouTube. But with the Mile IQ, you can keep up with your miles. It does that for you. But with the mileage, you know, I think this year, they scaled it back to, is it 52 cents or 54 cents a mile?
Well, I mean, you know, as far as this year, they haven't finished with with all the tax laws yet.
I should say the past year, the one that just closed out.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So with that being said, now, I was told, we're still talking about record keeping, everybody. I know I'm all over the place, but record keeping. I was told that, because I have a cleaning business. Now, I haven't done it in a while, but when I was filing the taxes for cleaning, they told me that you could only do the mileage if you were going there but not there and back or something like that. I can't remember. It was something crazy. Wait, no, I think it was it was the caregiving. Something they said I could not put my mileage in there, and I just didn't understand that. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? Like you can.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you know, in terms of now, as far as you know, the mileage is concerned, what I do to try to simplify things, because I think you indicated, you know, 9 out of 10 people are in the same situation that you talked about. They feel that they're poor in bookkeeping and it's something that's complicated, and it's not. And what I mean by that is this: I tell all my clients, first of all, we're going to stay away from mileage. Okay. Because most people, like you say, don't keep records. So what I tell my clients to do is I say, every time you go to the gas station and you pump gas, then, you know, throw that receipt in a bag. Stick it in your pocket. Then when you get home, just throw it in the bag. That's record keeping.
Wait, I got a better one. Use your debit card, because then your bank can print out the whole year for you and you can highlight it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like you say, your debit card, your whatever system. Or you can use all three. You know, some people don't have credit cards, so some people don't have debit cards. So whatever system, you know, you have to become consistent at it. And sometimes I have clients come to me and they got a whole box load of receipts. Now I got to go through all these receipts because I done told them through the course of the year, whatever you do, if you buy supplies, just throw it in the bag. And they come in with them all balled up. I got to decipher them out, and which I don't have no problem with it because I charge you for that.
Right. All right.
You know? But then I try to tell the client, well, next year if you don't want to pay me, this is what you do. I show you how to separate out your receipts. You know, where, you know, you got supplies, you got gas. So these are actual receipts. You're not guessing. You know what I mean, in terms of mileage.
Right. And you know what I started to do, which I'm just still behind. I mean, I'm just really throwing myself out there because I am not good at doing this stuff. But they have that thing called the Neat Scanner. And once you get the receipt, you just scan it into the Neat Scanner, and it categorizes every receipt for you.
Hey, sister, I can tell, man, you've been down the same road.
Okay.
Because I'm sitting right here by my Neat Scanner.
Oh, okay.
And I tell people all the time. I say, look, if you start just like what you just said, bring the receipts to me, and I scan them in. Mm-hmm. It's a viewable system. Mm-hmm. But everybody's on QuickBooks.
Right.
You know, I don't know QuickBooks. I took several classes on QuickBooks, but that's not the, you know, that's not see, the IRS has a rule. They can't. Everybody don't have to keep records in QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. And like you say, this neat system, I love it because I can scan all my receipts into it, and I separate them into the tax categories that they're going to go in. Mm-hmm. Now, when tax season starts, I got everything in one place, on one sheet of paper.
Right.
I know that this goes on Schedule C, line 15. I know that this goes on Schedule E, line 19, whatever the case might be. But it's already, I don't have to look for nothing at tax time. Right,
because it's all right there, because the neat scanner put it together for you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's all right there.
And from a plug, I think the machine can be from $300 to $500, but if you call them, they'll let you get away with paying them $99.99 a month.
Yeah, but if you don't have one, come to me. That's why I bought mine. I didn't buy it just for me. I bought it I bought it to help my clients to become audit ready.
Right.
And if you come to me on every 3 months, every 4 months, whatever case might be, with your receipts, I'll put them in the neat machine, scan them in, and when tax time comes, you're ready. You ain't got to look for nothing. I have people call me in January, and they still looking for receipts in April.
Oh, my God. And those receipts are, like, faded and got chicken grease on it and all that stuff, because I'm that person, so that's why I can talk about it. Because
oh, yeah.
you together, but you can't. You cannot keep those receipts together. Now, what I learned from Dave of Tando Radio, actually they have created that stuff in such a way now so your receipts do fade. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, what I say, matter of fact, I told Robert this today because he had a money order, like a little, you know, those money order receipts are tiny, right?
Right.
So I said, now, when I had those kind of receipts, I would just put them on a copy machine and just copy them. Yeah, because then it's on a big piece of paper. Or better yet, you know, because you have your cell phone, you could actually take a picture and scan it into your cell phone and email it to yourself. There's many ways of keeping up with this stuff, but we just have to be better about deciding to be good record keepers.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And like you said at the beginning of the show, get you a good tax man like me.
Right.
I'm one of the best tax men in the business. And I'm not being braggadocious, but I mean, when you're sitting on 20 years experience, and when I work for East North Block, you know, I train hundreds of people. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, accountants, lawyers. A lot of people don't understand when you're an accountant, you're not a tax preparer.
Right.
When you're an attorney, you're not a tax preparer. A lot of these people got into it because you know, they send accountants and attorneys to jail every day for not filing taxes properly.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of which, so like if I go to, like I gave the example of going to Hewlett Jackson. Now, if I go to Hewlett Jackson, this person is totally new, and I entrust them to file my taxes, and they do it wrong. Am I in trouble or are they in trouble?
Let me put it this way. You go to Jackson U and they do your taxes wrong, at the end of the day, you're going to have to be the one to pay the bill.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a big penalty right there.
Yeah. So regardless of whether or not you're not necessarily in trouble, but if you're not able to prove your deductions that you are taking, then you're going to have to pay that money back.
Right.
You know, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. They'll come in and say, well, the tax man told me that I should do it this way. It don't make any difference. You had the wrong tax man, but you still gonna have to pay.
Right, right. And so speaking of being at the wrong tax man, you saying that you're one of the best around, which is great. Now, the people that want to consult with you, they don't have to be in the same state you're in. They don't have to be in the same state you're in order for you to do their taxes, correct?
That's correct. You know, I have clients as far away as Iran.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. You know, I got clients from Kenya. So, I mean, as far as taxes, anywhere in the United States, federal taxes I can handle.
Okay. Well, you know, that is good to know because, again, the tax thing can be very confusing, you know, because you have your personal taxes and then you have your business taxes. And situations I've been in, I always go to a little free thing where you don't have to pay anything, which is not a good idea. I need to not do that anymore.
What is that now?
I said I usually go to the little free one, you know, because, like, they have this thing where you can go and get your taxes done for free.
Yeah.
Those people are looking to get you in and out. They're really not interested in scrutinizing your taxes and really doing a correct job. And if you have a business, you really should not be going to those people at all.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you said that because I had a client when I told you that I had a client from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
She came to me with her taxes, and she was working 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you were talking about earlier, where you in order to claim mileage, you have to leave one job and go to the other job in order to claim that mileage.
Mm-hmm.
You can't claim the mileage if you go from your house straight to the job. It has to be from one job to a second job.
Right.
In order for you to claim mileage. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this lady came to me and she had went to one of those free services. I think it was AARP.
Right.
And they did her taxes free.
Right.
Okay, so then when she brought her taxes to me, they had not given her, there's a form which is called a 2106, Employee Business Expense.
Mm-hmm.
She was eligible for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she had been paying taxes every year. She owed $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
And she had been doing this for 10 years free.
Wow.
And so 10 times 3,000 is what?
30,000.
30,000, yeah.
30,000. That's how much money she had. That's how much money she had gave the IRS when she didn't have to. If she had to just file that form 2106, Employee Business Expense.
Wow.
So I filed her taxes, the form 21. I filed her tax for the form 2106. In the year that I did her taxes, she got a $1,000 refund back.
Wow, that's excellent. Now, Brother Shareef, we actually have someone that has raised their hand for a question. Are you prepared to answer tax questions today?
Yeah, to the best of my ability.
Well, all right. Well, let's get them on. Okay, caller, last 4 digits, 9453. Welcome to BIB Radio. Who do we have on the line?
Hi, my name is Isha.
Hi.
Hey, I'm calling. Well, I heard Brother Shareef mention that married couples cannot file single. What if a person's been doing that for years? Now, how can they go about fixing that?
Well, if a person has been doing it for years, I mean, what's in the past is in the past. If you got 2 people that are married, and then like the sister indicated, a lot of times it gets kind of complex. But if you're staying in the same household, and you and your husband are together, the only way that you can file is only 2 ways you can file. There's either married filing joint or married filing separate. But the people that if you try to file, if you file married filing separate, you're penalized. Meaning that if you got 2 children and you file married filing separate, you lose the earned income tax credit. So that's why, and then a lot of times, what happens is when 2 people are married, the husband has outside child support, so therefore they don't want to file with him or her because the IRS then is going to take the money for the outside children. So basically, you know, in order to to correct that, you know, either you and your husband going to either have to, if you want to do it according to the tax law, you're going to either have to file marriage filing joint or you have to do it marriage filing separate.
Okay.
Hope that I'm sorry.
Oh, I said yes. Thank you. That does
Alrighty.
answer that question.
Okay.
May I ask one more?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So now there was a issue with student loan and student loan taking the tax income from one of the spouses. How can we go about getting getting that money back for the spouse? And it happened this year.
Well, you know, they have what they call innocent spouse and injured spouse, meaning that you know, sometimes the liability can be on the husband and not on the wife, or vice versa. So if whoever's trying to get that money back, then you have to either file your injured spouse or your innocent spouse, and that should be done at the time that you do your taxes. Then, therefore, whatever money that you have coming back, they'll give that to you, but then they will take whatever he or she owes.
Okay, and it's too late for that, is what you're
Well,
saying?
no, it's not necessarily too late, because the IRS do allow you the opportunity to file an amendment.
Okay.
You know, they do allow you the opportunity to file an amended return, meaning that, okay, I didn't know this law at the time, and so now I want to amend my taxes, and I want to, you know, include with this here, this innocent spouse form, and then you send that in, and they will make the adjustment. If you have the money coming back at that particular time, they'll send you your portion, but they'll keep the spouse's portion. So no, it's not. It's never too late. They'll allow you to, I think, they will allow you to file amended return, and they allow you to go back at least 3 years.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, before you get off the phone, sis, let's have Brother Shareef allow you to have his information. I'm going to have him do that soon, but if you have more questions for him, I'm sure he's able to answer them for you, because you sound like you have a lot going on that you would really like to have a conversation with him about, and I definitely want to make sure that you have the information that you need. So, Brother Shareef, how would she get a hold of you?
She can you know, call me at area code 314-322-3555. Or she can email me at uactfast, that's the letter U, ACTFAST, uactfast @yahoo.com.
Okay. Did you get that information?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope you call into him and actually, you know, utilize his services, because he's very knowledgeable. That is why we have him on the show today, so that you can have all the information that you need. Please give him a call and continue to listen to BIB Radio, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
You listen to BIB Radio. We're going to take a commercial break.
Black Talk Media Project funds the use of new media technology in efforts to restore independent Black voices to the myriad of issues affecting Afro-descendant people all over the planet. If media can control the minds of the masses, as Malcolm X once said, then you must ask yourself, who is in control of the media targeting the masses of Black people today? Help bring back independence, self-determination, and respect for Black culture in the production of global media by joining the effort to crowdfund new Black media for the new millennium. Visit blacktalkmediaproject.org for more information on how you can invest in public Black radio for the masses.
All right, everybody. You're listening to BIB Radio. We're on Black Talk Radio Network. Our phone number to dial in is area code 641-715-3660. Participant code 549032#, and press *6 and 1 if you'd like to be heard. We are speaking to Brother Shareef concerning taxes. My goodness, it can be such a scary subject matter, just like going to the doctor, I guess, but we are here today to get the information out to you so you don't have to walk in fear. We have one of our own who is very skilled and knowledgeable, not just because he's gone to school, but because he's been through some issues himself with the IRS and taxes. So, Brother Shareef, now let's kind of go back to the beginning a little bit. So if I'm a person and I have a business and I have no clue, like, okay, I know I need to be doing something, where can you start me out? Like, should I just call you and do a consultation with you, or should I, like, have plenty of records before I call you, or what? Because, again, I have, like, no idea what I should be doing.
Well, you know, I would just pretty much say that would be, you know, like I said earlier in the program, you know, if you have no idea, then yeah, I'd be glad to consult with you and you know, guide you through this process. I wouldn't charge you. All they do, you know, have to say is that you know, they heard me through your radio show, and then I'd waive any consultation fee.
Oh, now that is excellent. That's wonderful. So did you hear that, folks? He's willing to waive the consultation fee if you say that you heard it on BIB Radio. Now, even if you go to somebody already for your taxes, what I have found is it is good to have sort of a checks and balances system, you know, because I've had one company doing one thing and then I took the information over to somebody else and found out that that company clearly did not know what they were doing. So I believe this is the same case concerning taxes, because you have some people who have some limited knowledge and they're operating off of that limited knowledge. But if you take it to somebody else, they are very well skilled because they have more knowledge and more experience, not just because of book smarts, but also because they've gone through certain situations. So to me, that would be Brother Shareef. So if you are already going to someone for your taxes, I would suggest that you go ahead and take, 30 minutes out of your day, give them a call, and just kind of do a little checkup on your taxes and information. Because I'm sure that if you have something off or askew or questions that you might have about your business, he could definitely answer them for you. Now, Brother Shareef, concerning the business and personal taxes, what do you do about that? Because again, when I was going to these free things, these free companies, now that's what I do every year. I go to one of the little free things, whether it be Goodwill or whoever is doing taxes for free. I'm there with my papers. I'm like, like, here, just do my taxes. All I care about is getting my $3,000 back. Yeah, I don't think that that's wise. At this point, I'm looking at that's just not very wise. I mean, even if I wasn't getting anything back, the most important thing is that you're doing your taxes correctly and having the proper documents filled out and the proper, whatever. So what about a person that their business is really low, but then they have children or whatever? Would you suggest that they file just personal taxes, or should they really bother with the business taxes? How does that go?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that. Let me draw a scenario for you, right?
Okay.
I had a client come in this year. She owed taxes.
Mhm.
She had been owing taxes for the last 5 years.
Mhm.
So after I got her in, and I began to question her, ask her questions to try to see basically what her situation was. And in the process of talking, somehow the other came up that her husband had a side trucking business.
Mm.
He was hauling.
Mhm.
Little truck hauling, things like that. And I said, well, you've never filed this on your taxes. She said, well, I didn't know that I could. I said, sure you can.
Mhm.
So I had her husband to bring me, they hadn't been filing taxes together at all. That's what it was. They hadn't been filing taxes together. She was filing on her own and he was filing on his own. Well, in this case, they should have been filing together. Why? Because when you have a small business, and here's the beautiful part about having a small business, that can leverage your income on your job.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, that if you have a job and you're already paying taxes, they're going to take the taxes off the top as far as your job is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
If you file a proper W-4, if you fill that out right. But in the case that I'm talking about, they hadn't even did that right. But what happens is that I was able to garner enough expenses compared to this individual's income, and he ended up on his taxes with a $5,000 loss.
Oh, wow.
So when you end up with a loss, a $5,000 loss on your business taxes, that reduces your tax liability on your employee taxes.
Ooh, that sounds good, because I had a $4,000 loss because my car was in a car accident, so I'm excited to hear that information.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that reduces your tax liability. If you got a job, to me that's a perfect situation to be in, where you got a job and I try and encourage all of my clients to start some type of business. Right. And the reason being is because, a lot of people are in business and don't even know that they're in business. Now, what I mean by that? Now, you got a lot of young people, they doing hair, they babysitting, they getting paid. Well, the IRS says that all income must be reported.
That's what that 16th Amendment said. That's what I heard in there.
Oh, yeah. But don't be afraid to report it because that's to your advantage.
Right.
It's just a matter, and see what happens is, okay, as an employee, it's straightforward. They're going to take 25% of your money or 15%, whatever it is, whatever tax bracket you're in. They're going to take that off the top. They're going to get that money before you do.
Right.
You don't want to work for it, but they're going to send the money to the IRS before when you get your check, that money's already gone, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. So, but when you file business taxes, that allows you, now everything that you do becomes a tax write-off. That's the beautiful part about it. In other words, if you got it's like my, I got a little small, 5-room little duplex here. And so I got one room designated for office space. So by that one room being designated as office space in my tax business, that means now I can write off my water bill, my sewer bill, a certain percentage of my electric, a certain percentage of my gas bill, a certain percentage of my mortgage payment, So the thing is, when you form a business, that means that everything now that you do becomes a tax write-off. And that's the beautiful part about it.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Scotty?
Greetings to you, Brother Shareef. Great program. You're providing a lot of valuable information, and I do plan to take you up on that consultation, free BIB Radio. And I have a question. Do you provide services, and it may sound like a dumb question, but some people might have this question. Do you provide services for nonprofits? That's the first question. And then to your point about people starting businesses, for example, nonprofit, and I could even see from my venture into the nonprofit business world here in North Carolina as a state nonprofit, that people could use it as a tax shelter for some of their income if they wanted to use it that way. Because, for example, our organization is incorporated as a nonprofit media education organization. And I started by just teaching people through videos and blog posts and things of that nature of how to do their own internet radio program. So that's education right there. And then it just grew from there into the different stations that we have on the network and providing, leasing out radio streams as a business service and so on. So a person could, like I was thinking about Sisi. Sisi is an information lady. She provides information for people on all types. She could be an education nonprofit, or so to speak, and she's providing a service. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, I'm glad that he asked that. You know why? Because that was my next question. I do a boatload of volunteer work. I mean, although I do this volunteer work, of course, you don't get paid, but I do incur expenses, travel expenses, air, food, hotel. I still incur expenses. So is there a way to file as a volunteer your taxes?
Well, if you're working with an organization that have a 503c.
Okay.
In terms of being able to write off,
Brother Shareef,
some of your mileage or charitable contributions.
Yep, I have a couple of people that are with their 501c3. Scotty, what are you trying to say now?
I'm trying to say that we don't have a 501c3, and that was done strategically because we do delve into, as a nonprofit, I would call it social media. Not social media in the terms of just posting stuff, but social activism using media, to inform people about what's going on. But we are not a 501c3 because I never plan on taking money from government grants or anything like that. I'm just a registered nonprofit, but we operate globally.
I didn't know you could be a registered nonprofit without having a 501c3.
In a state, I'm a state nonprofit, not a federal.
Okay.
On purpose.
Okay. Wow, that's a whole nother show because I've never heard of that before in my life.
Well, I mean, if he's registered, if he's got the proper paperwork saying that he's a nonprofit organization, you can write it off.
That's excellent. I mean, and see, that's why we have to have shows like this, because what if I want to be a nonprofit myself? Personally, I didn't want to file for a 501c3 at all. I don't want to deal with that. I want to deal with as least amount of government that I have to deal with. So knowing that he has that, that's something that I'm interested in. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, back to his did you get your question answered, Scotty? I'm sorry.
Yes. I
just turned into a personal counseling session, but...
Hey, but you know what? I like your spirit.
Right.
Matter of fact, that's one of the things that, I teach taxes.
Right.
And
that's right. Yes, we need to talk about that. You teach
taxes. And you seem to be, fired up here. You think you might be interested in taking up my tax classes? Man, you might be able to get together because I like your spirit. How you want to help people.
Well, I love helping people. I'm not for certain that I want to be a tax preparer, but I'm happy to shepherd people your way because I am the infopreneur. So if anybody needs information at any time and needs to know where to go, that's what I do. That's absolutely what I do.
I understand, but I mean, you've been so impressive to me that your knowledge and your spirit in terms of how you, your experiences.
Right.
You know
why? That's because I've been self-employed. Well, my first business, I was 13 when I had my first business, but really, I started out in business when I was 23. So I've been through all kinds of different scenarios and had to finagle things and get information and just kind of on-the-job training, learning different things. So I definitely know, a lot of different things, but I'm interested in learning more, not just for myself, but for our listening audience. And again, I'm so appreciative that you have come on the show. So now we have some place to direct our people concerning taxes, because now that the deadline is over for the extension, people can go ahead and say, hey, okay, well, maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do before, but let me get started now because there's hope. There's somebody that I feel comfortable talking with. Because, sometimes you go to these places and you're not really comfortable talking to these people, but, you too have a very good spirit about you, and people can actually come and be honest with you and open. You've been through some things. It's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's very hard to go to somebody with your tragic situations or something you're going through if they can't really relate to you. And you definitely can relate to somebody dealing with tax situations because you've had them yourself. So I'm just very excited that we have you on the show, and people can just call you and be like, hey, and then once you help them, of course they're going to go, with your service. Now, you're talking about teaching. I was talking to, I don't know if you know Jackie Mayfield of ComproTax.
No, I don't. Not by that name.
Okay, Jackie Mayfield of ComproTax. He has the largest black-owned tax firm in the United States. And so, they were talking about people, coming out of prison. I think taxes is one thing that people can do coming out of prison. They can prepare taxes because they don't scrutinize you or anything like that. Is that correct?
Well, you have to fill out, you have to go through FBI, check, when you apply for your PTIN number. So, yeah, you do have to go through FBI check.
So that's not something that everybody could do. Maybe that wasn't Jackie Mayfield. Maybe that was David Anderson. Okay, somebody was talking about that. Let me not put Jackie's name out there because he would definitely know that information. So I was thinking that would be something that people could definitely cycle into, because we do like to help people in those type of situations also. But single moms at home, people who are having a hard time finding a job, you definitely have that platform for them to come and learn taxes with you. Now, this is a face-to-face class?
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I had Brother Robert. You there?
He might be
Brother
sleeping. He may be sleeping. He was on the road for 8 hours, so I think.
Right. Yeah. No, I had to invite him down. So I was going to ask him when you said that. Did I? Yeah, I had. Are you familiar with Cortex?
Who?
Cortex.
No, what is that?
That's a entrepreneur innovator center.
No, I know about the T-Rex.
Okay, well, it's a new one in town now.
Okay.
It's called Cambridge Innovation Center.
Okay.
It's located in Central West End, right at Forest Park and Sarah. And I tried to get Brother Rob was supposed to meet with me Monday, and I was supposed to take him on a tour down there where I'm having my classes at.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to schedule it for you. Maybe if you're available this coming Monday, we can definitely make it down there. I'll make sure that we do because I would like to see what that is. That if that's where you're teaching our class, we definitely are interested. So we can direct people your way.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. But I get excited every time. I mean, once you see it, I mean, it's unbelievable what's happening, what's going on in this town right now.
Yes, I'm excited about this town myself. I tell you, my goodness, I just got here and I'm excited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you definitely, I can tell by your mindset that you're going to be impressed with this, like you said, T-Rex, the tech shop and the Cambridge Innovation Center. I've had people that have been down to T-Rex, but when I take them to show them the Cambridge Innovation Center, they knock off their feet.
Okay. Well, I stayed at the T-Rex for like 3 hours. I was like listening to the little presentation, and I was like, okay, so you have to be technologically involved some kind of way. Okay, I know I want to develop some apps, so I just kind of made myself be a part of that thing, because, I mean, I love business. I love different aspects of business, so I'm more than happy to come and see what that is about, your class and the building and whatever they have to offer, especially concerning entrepreneurship, so that we can share it with the people here locally. I'm very excited to come see what that's about.
Oh yeah, you know what like you say in terms of entrepreneurship, they're calling, and this is not me. They're calling the tech shop the Silicon Valley. It is the Silicon Valley of innovation.
Oh wow!
And you got your major boys in this city are behind this. I'm talking about Washington University, St. Louis University, Boeing Aircraft. All your top people are behind what I'm talking about.
Anheuser-Busch, all them?
All of them, for the most part, is behind this push towards 21st century education.
Wow, that's excellent. Well, I'm definitely excited about seeing what's going on there. So if someone locally is listening now, Brother Shareef is telling you about his class that he's teaching. Learning taxes is not a scary thing if you have the right person teaching you, just like school. It's not a scary thing if you have the right person teaching you and you have the right mindset, meaning you can learn this. So if they want to come and learn from you, Brother Shareef, what is the cost?
Well, it depends on how far they want to go with it.
Okay.
I mean, because like right now, my course is designed. If an individual, wanted to become an enrolled agent,
mm-hmm.
that's about the highest level that you can go to.
Oh wow, okay.
Which because an enrolled agent for the most part is comparable to an attorney or a CPA.
Oh my goodness.
Now if you want to do just if you just want to do taxes, you can through my class you can come out with what they call AF SP designation that the IS gives you upon completion of the course. And what that does, it gives you professional recognition. Once you take the course and you pass it, it's recognized by the IS as a profession.
Oh wow.
Now, if you just want to learn taxes and not, become a professional, then it's a little less. So it just depends on what your goals are.
Okay. So basically, they need to consult with you so you can determine with them what their goals are. Then you can let them know what the cost will be.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, just like right now, and I will be doing some seminars here too that will be coming up where I will show individuals how to actually do a tax return line by line. We'll go through the 1040, and we will go line by line. This is, line 7. This is what this means. Line 10. This is what this means.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through a 1040. We'll go all the way up to a Schedule C. Schedule C is a profit and loss for the small business.
Right.
So we'll go through each line of that. Now, like I say, that will be a seminar that I will do that pretty much will be free, where individual can come in and see, get his feet wet, and see if it's something that he want to carry further.
Okay. Well, we definitely have to help you promote that since it's a free thing. Let me know so we can create a commercial for you.
I most certainly will. One, if you and Brother Robert are able to make it down Monday, and then we can talk about it a little further.
Oh, we'll definitely make it down there Monday. I'm just, we're going to make it there. What was I going to ask you? So now, I don't think we could ever have enough time to talk about taxes, but what about employees? Now, the way I've gotten around things, or the way people have gotten around me concerning employment, especially in what I do, they have you sign up as an independent contractor, so you don't have to pay those taxes and the LNI and all this other stuff. Now, what do you suggest with that? Like, because I was doing, when I first started doing cleaning jobs and before I really opened my cleaning business really good, there was a lady who was hiring people but not hiring people. And the state came after her, and she owed them like, oh my goodness, $90,000 because they said that she was treating the contractors as if they were employees, and so they came after her. How would one avoid that?
By coming to my class and learning the tax laws.
Okay.
See, there's a very, how you treat an individual, and they pretty much go by like the industry that you're in. If you're running a cleaning business and you're hiring people, more than likely they're going to be employees.
Right.
And in terms of, because if you got a person that says that you want him to work at 8 o'clock and you want him to work to 4, then you're controlling his time.
Right.
So if you're controlling his time, then that makes him an employee.
Right. The way around it would be like if you had a listing somewhere and the people called you and said, yes, we need cleaning, and then you delegated the task to other people that wanted cleaning jobs, but you didn't control their time. You said, hey, this person is a referral. And if you just gave them a referral, then you didn't have to consider them your employee, right?
Well, he'd have to be considered as an independent contractor.
Right.
And the definition is pretty clear. What constitutes, an employee versus a contractor. And what I say, it depends on the nature of the business, too.
Right. And that's like you said, they need to talk to you because people go by hearsay and what other people did and all this other stuff and end up getting into deep water because you were running a daycare, but this person was running a machine shop, and you guys trying to go off the same rules, and they don't work.
Exactly.
Well, we have another question here. Caller, let's see, last 4 is 7934, and we're going to let you on. Let's see, I think we're going to let you on. Welcome to BIB Radio. Who are we talking to?
Hi, this is Linda. I have a question in reference to taxes. I'm just tuning in, so I missed, so I'm not sure.
Okay,
I don't know
Linda.
if anyone had already asked this question, but I want to know if there's a hardship letter that a person could write if they owe back taxes, if they're unemployed or anything like that. Is there such thing as a hardship letter for taxes if you don't have the money to pay it?
Yes, it is.
A tax relief program. There is?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What
They
form
do have.
is there? Form number, like form number 9546 or form number?
I don't know the phone number right offhand, but I tell you anything that you want to know pertaining to taxes, and this is unlimited. You go to irs.gov.
IRS.gov. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that website there. You know, anything you want to know about taxes is there. What form to fill out, how to fill the form out. You know, because taxes are so this is so broad. You can't go through this trying to remember everything.
Right. I understand. But here's another question I had. How is it that the wealthy people, like, say, I'm just going to throw a name out, like Donald Trump had filed bankruptcy or whatever he did, I mean, for 5 or 6 years and never had to pay back taxes. The wealthy people never paid taxes or pay back taxes. I don't know. And then the poor people, you know, they have to pay taxes. I don't understand the middle class or poor, you know.
Right. Well, in defense of Donald Trump, which I hate to do, but what he did was legal. And, you know, poor people have that same they have that same opportunity because the tax laws are the tax laws. And I get into a debate with people all the time. What I mean by that, when you start talking about paying federal taxes, once you learn the tax system and you get all the write-offs, and I think we talked about this a little earlier before you came on, is that by forming a business, that allows you to just about have tax write-offs for everything. Everything from scoop to nuts, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Your
water bill, your gas bill, your electric bill, etc. So yeah, you can.
I heard that much of the show when you said that
part.
Oh, okay. I had a non-profit business before. This was last year, the beginning of last year, and but I didn't know that you could file all that stuff on a non-profit.
Well, not on non-profit. I'm talking about on a business for profit.
Oh, business for profit. Okay.
Yeah. If you you had a non-profit, but it has to be a business for profit in order for you to claim all those expenses.
Okay, I got you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Linda,
did I ask you?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, Linda, I want to allow you to get Brother Shareef's information again. Brother Shareef, hand that out to her again so she can give you a call and do a more personal consultation with you about her situation.
Okay, that's fine. My phone number is code 314.
314.
Yeah, 322.
Okay.
3555.
Okay, that's 314-322-3555.
That's correct.
Thank you so much.
My name is Shareef.
Oh, we got to go to a break. We were like...
Go ahead and finish what you were saying, Brother Shareef.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and finish your thoughts, sir.
No, I was just giving her my phone number. Yeah, a young lady that asked me for my phone number.
Okay, give her your number one more time, Brother Shareef. We're going into break.
Air code 314-322-3555.
All right, you listen to Black Talk Radio Network. Our show is called BIB Radio. We'll be back after these messages.
The Black Talk Radio Network is made possible in part with help from the Black Talk Media Project, a North Carolina-based nonprofit engaged in the production and distribution of independent digital black media. Find out more by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium. You are tuned in to Black Talk Radio, new black media for the new millennium.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is BIB Radio on Black Talk Radio Network. We have been talking to Brother Shareef, and he is schooling us on taxes. And, again, this is one of those things we kind of hide in the corner, put our head in the sand about, and we need to just kind of come clean and get our problems taken care of concerning taxes and the IRS. And Brother Shareef is very, very skilled. I mean, we've been talking to him for the last hour and a half, and I'm just very amazed and blown away at his knowledge. And I would suggest that if you have some tax questions, which you should, because I know that if you're having someone else prepare your taxes, that means you don't understand them yourself, because if you did, you would probably be doing them yourself. Like me, I don't do my own taxes, which they would probably be very simple, but I don't. So that means I don't understand them. So you definitely need to consult with Brother Shareef. Again, no matter where you live in the world or the country or whatever, as long as you need your taxes to be done, he can help you. So you should consult with him. And if you're here in the St. Louis area, he's very interested in having you join his tax class. And as he explained before, there's different levels to those classes, just depending on where you want to go with your tax career. And all you'd have to do is call and make an appointment with him, and you all could sit down and chat about where it is that you want to go with taxes. But we have to not walk in fear anymore. If we're going to have legitimate businesses, we have to make sure that we're doing things the right way. I'm not saying doing taxes is doing things the right way, but you know how we do. You know, we just kind of do things here, there, and everywhere, and just whatever happens, happens. But, you know, if you want to be one that files your taxes and has good record keeping and that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend that you call Brother Shareef so that he could get you on track. I mean, that is like the best feeling in the world when you know you have your business in order. And you know what I'm talking about. When you have your business in order and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do concerning, the back end of your business, you feel so good. You feel good about walking into the next day and doing what you have to do for your customers and that kind of thing. So, Brother Shareef, what last words do you have for our people, our listeners?
Well, I think that, you summed it up very well, in terms of dealing with taxes. That you want to do what's right for the most part. There's no substitute for doing your taxes right. Mm-hmm. You do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about it. I have clients come to me sometime, and the first thing they say is that, I don't want the IRS auditing me. Mm-hmm. Well, I said, well, if you do your taxes right, you don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. Most audits that I've had with my clients is resolved in 10 minutes. Because it was done right in the first place.
Right.
So whenever they have any, see, when I close a file, that file, and it says it on my business card, it's audit ready. It means if the IRS comes to your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, I ain't got to go look for anything.
Right.
Because I did it right in the first place, and the information is there, and it's in proper order. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that, keeping records, having the intent to do what's right, and you won't have no problem. For the most part, you shouldn't have no problem with the IRS.
Right.
Yeah. If you, like I say, like you said, get in the habit of wanting to do, and that's the hardest thing to do. I haven't missed doing taxes in 30 years. But I had to go back with some of my clients as far as 10 years. They hadn't did taxes in 10 years. And a lot of people don't realize when you do that, now you put yourself in a position because they can come get you at any time they want to for income tax evasion.
Right.
So my thing is just, get with me or get with someone that you can trust, and follow the instructions, and you should be okay. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Like you say, the first thing you got to get rid of fear.
Mhm.
Because the IRS got laws they have to comply with too.
Mhm.
And sometimes you got to take them to task on that.
Right.
And that's what I end up doing. I had to take them all the way to federal court.
Mm.
And when they got to federal court, they dropped it because like I told them, hey, I haven't violated any laws. I've given you all the documentation that you asked for, and you refuse to accept it. And what happens is, when you go through the IRS, you go to a level to where if you and the IRS can't come to an agreement, then you have to go to the third party, which is the federal courts. And they're going to try you. If you have a case that you feel that you're being violated, you can't give up fighting. That's about all I. But if you're not in order, then you just have to pay the money. That's all.
I have a question before you go, or I really have a comment or idea for people out there that you're trying to help, because it seems like you're saying for the individuals out there that they could take advantage of so many tax loopholes, take advantage of the loopholes, the law, like you said, why you didn't want to defend Donald Trump, but people in his class, they take advantage of the laws. And so you mentioned starting a business. So people might be going through their head right now, well, what could that business be? What could I start a business out of my home so that I could take advantage of these loopholes and protect more of my income while running a legitimate business? So I have two ideals. The first ideal is one I pitched to my daughter. My daughter has always been thrifty, but not cheap. But she's been thrifty in terms of buying clothes for herself and buying clothes for her son. So she hits the thrift stores a lot, and she finds items that are like brand new, and sometimes they are brand new, and she doesn't pay a whole lot. And so she has all these clothes, and then my other daughter too, and people are willing to pay for that. And I told her, instead of selling it to boutiques, you could set up, get a small business, a license from the county, and then just run it online where you have online stores showing the pictures of what you have. And then people can even come here and pick up the clothing, or you could ship it to them. That's a legitimate business right there. Just hitting thrift stores and getting rid of secondhand stuff like that. So like you said, if she had her mortgage, she could write off all that stuff you mentioned, the water, part of the electric, part of the mortgage, just for running a thrift store from her home, basically, or a consignment shop from her home. That's what we'll call it, a retail consignment shop. So that's one business you could start right now with very little investment. The second one is run your own radio station. Now, as a nonprofit, our mission, and we accumulate, we ask for donations and funds in the services that we charge people for, like website development, website hosting, radio streams, stuff like that. Now, we do want to build our own radio stations in various communities, have a physical presence where we will actually, maybe rent some small office space, whatever we need to set up a studio. Okay, so a person actually could run a studio from their home, so they could just register as an entertainment company and in for-profit, not non-profit, for-profit, right, and run it just like the local terrestrial radio station does that sells ads and things of that nature. And it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to run your own radio station. And so like Sister Sisi, that's business right there she could set up, where she likes to share information and running a station. Then she can also charge people to be on her station as she builds up her. So again, that's just another business ideal, quick, easy business ideals I had that where people could take advantage of what you were talking about, that don't take a whole lot of expertise or a whole lot of investment capital to get started. What do you think,
Yeah,
sir?
you're 100% correct. You're right, my brother.
Yep, that's right. And
and I hope that they listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, it goes back to what this whole show is about. It's about entrepreneurialism, where we are aiding and assisting our people into being self-employed.
Exactly.
But it goes. It's very strange. We just get all wrapped up in our mind, and we think we can't do it, and we need to be tied to this corporate system where we receive a check. And it's like you said, Brother Shareef, a lot of people don't even realize that they're in business already. They're doing all these little things on the side, and they don't consider it a business. I have a friend in the state of Washington, and, I just didn't think anything of it. I thought he knew he was in business. But this man repairs people's computers. He goes and he picks them up. He could be like an hour away. He'll go to the person's house, pick up the computers, take it back to his home. Then he does all this stuff on Facebook where he fundraises for different families that need stuff, and he collects things from other families to put together packages for single parents. And I said to him one day, I said something about his business. He was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "Well, your business." He said, "Oh, well, yeah, one day I think I do want to start a business."
And he was already in business.
Yeah, I was like, do you not know that you're already in business? It was just flabbergasted me, because this man totally did not recognize himself as a business. And he was like, "Well, no, this is not a business. This is something I'm doing. No, one day I want to open a legitimate business." And I was like, okay, I'm just not going to argue with him, because he kind of is where he is. Let him just keep enjoying what he's doing. If he doesn't consider himself in business, then he's not. And then I also recognize, he's a veteran, so I'm just, I don't want to rile him up or anything. Just let him do his thing, But he clearly was in business, and he's still in business now. Like right now, I just messaged him. I said, "Oh, I need a thin laptop." So he has one. Automatically, he sent me the picture, because that's what he does. He buys and sells computers, and he fixes them. He's amazing. But he doesn't consider himself in business. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he's not reaping the benefits of it. The full benefits, let me put it that way, as far as the tax write-offs that he's eligible for.
He just likes to feel good, because he's helped people, and it's amazing. Just the work that he does is so amazing, and to me it's just really sad that he doesn't recognize what he's doing as a business, because like you said, he's kind of missing out on some things. But after this conversation and this program that we have today, I'm going to try to talk to him again, because that conversation we had was about a year ago. But he goes all the way out to the auctions. He buys cars. He donates stuff that he gets from the auctions. I'm like, you're in business.
He's definitely got a business going.
Oh, yeah, and he drives to the auction like an hour away.
Yeah, and then just like the brother just indicated, even if you did an online business, it's still a business.
It's still a business. Do you know how many businesses I have? It's like a zillion, really. And I would like to hone them in and make them all one, but it's kind of impossible. But I really tag myself as an infopreneur. I love, that's why radio is good for me, because I really love people getting the right information. And it resonates with me because I'm an auditory learner. So, I just really, really like, I like talking, of course, but I really like for people getting the right information. So, this program is great. Because that is what we direct our information to people who are in business already or who want to start business. But I would urge you all, if you're in business now, as I said before, even if you have someone doing your taxes, I know that some people are having like their bookkeepers doing their taxes, and if they're really not skilled in that area and they're just doing something because they're running a program and whatever, I would urge you to definitely have Brother Shareef look at your information, because maybe he can find something that needs to be corrected. And you definitely want to have it corrected before the IRS has to correct it. So you should make sure that you get in contact with him as soon as possible. I mean, now is a good time because, like I said, the whole extension thing is over, and the IRS rush is not going on right now. So take the time, look at your information, and just write down some questions that you may have for him. And if you're in the area, in the St. Louis area, you could definitely meet with him. But wherever you are, no matter where you are, you could definitely give him a call, and he'd be able to help you out with your tax solutions, because, again, he's been through some stuff. I mean, that's my kind of thing right there. A person that has been through some stuff, not just somebody looking down their nose at me like, oh, my gosh, how did you let this happen? No, he's had some things happen in his tax life, and he can talk to you and talk directly to whatever your problem is, help you work it out, help you develop a better system so that you can kind of, see, basically, sometimes it's see the error of your ways so you don't make those same mistakes. But I would definitely urge you to call him, email him, send a pigeon, something, get in contact with him.
Sister
Brother
Sisi,
Shareef, tell him again.
I have one more question before he goes. We have about 8 minutes left in the program, so my brain is just ticking over here. So Brother Shareef, this is the scenario or the person I'm thinking of. This is the profile of the person. So they are retired. Okay. They are a retired person, and they are drawing Social Security, but they still have a mortgage. They still have property taxes. Could they, in fact, start a small business, whatever it may be, just for the purpose of taking advantage of the tax law? We're not talking about doing anything illegal, but could they, in fact, not negatively impact any benefits they're receiving, like Social Security, but start a small business so they could take advantage of the write-offs for the mortgages and property taxes they still are paying?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, you can draw, Social Security and still have a business. Hello?
Well, yeah, that was a very simple answer. The answer is yes.
Yeah. No, most definitely. I mean, do they end up owing money at the end of the year?
What do you mean, do they end up owing money?
Well, you were indicating that, can a person, start a business in order to take advantage of the tax write-off?
And not lose any of their Social Security benefits that they are receiving, because I don't know, because I'm not retired and drawing Social Security, but I know that there are elderly people out there, many listeners of this program, in fact, who have retired, who still may have a mortgage, and they may be drawing a pension, however, but let's just say this is a person that's just drawing Social Security. They on a fixed, what the seniors that they describe them as being on a fixed income, but they still, doing a little bit better because they own property, but they still have property taxes that they pay. They still have bills that they have to pay. So if they was to start just a little small business, I don't care if it was a yard sale, and they could still be saving themselves money on their property taxes and expenses by just starting a small business. That wouldn't be illegal. They would still be able to draw their pension or their Social Security, and the government not take that away. That's the question that I'm asking, because I'm ignorant on this.
No, well, no, they can start a business. And I don't know if you're familiar with. I know here in Missouri, they got what they call circuit breaker, right? That means that if you have to have a certain amount of income that the government will pay you back, could pay you back all the real estate taxes that you paid in. You understand what I'm saying?
Explain that, all the real estate Is real estate taxes property tax?
Like you said, a person got a piece of real estate. He's paying $1,000 a year in real estate taxes. Real estate taxes, right?
Right, property tax.
And he's 65 years old and he's retired. His income may be too high in order for him to qualify for the rebate of the $1,000. But if he has a business, and if his income is, they say your income can be over $27,000. But if you start a business and you show a loss, let's say if you had $30,000 and you show a loss of $3,000, now your income now has been reduced by the business to $25,000. So now, therefore, you can qualify for what they call the circuit breaker because you over 65 years old, and then in turn they have to give you some of your real estate tax money back.
Okay.
I understand the answer completely. I do see the advantages for a person in such a scenario to start a business.
Right. But like you said, the thing is that, I had to get with the person and see what the numbers are. I know it can be kind of a little bit confusing right now, but in answer to your question, yeah, a business could benefit that person.
Okay, so a circuit breaker, that's a new term. So, Brother Shareef, we are down to the last nothings. So, again, tell the listeners your phone number again if they want to give you a call.
Air code 314-322-3555.
Okay, well, we thank you so much for talking to us about taxes, and we hope to have you on really soon. But please feel free to come back on the show at any time. You are a friend to the show. And I want to thank everyone for listening. Thank you, Scotty, for being a participant in the show, not just back engineering. But everyone join us here again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Black Talk Radio Network. This is BIB Radio, and we will talk to you next week. Good night.
Thank you.
The Black Talk Radio Network is made possible in part with help from the Black Talk Media Project, a North Carolina-based nonprofit engaged in the production and distribution of independent digital black media. Find out more by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium.